Good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me okay? Had a bit of problems with the microphone just now. Realised that it was doing something it shouldn't have been doing, but I think it's working. So maybe you can just let me know if you can hear me okay. So the thing I'm showing you here is not what I'm doing today, but I just wanted to show the finished article, shall we say. You can hear, that's good, for what we did yesterday in a workshop, and also to explain why there is embossing folders up on the YouTube Live as well section of the website. And so I just show you that first, and then we will see all the other lovely things. Thank you. Yeah, you can all hear me. That's good. So this is one of the beautiful cards that we did. We all did one, and then we were allowed to go a bit loose as to what we wanted to do then. But we were talking about embossing folders, and I just wanted to bring these out to show everybody. You can't see it very well here, but in the background, we were using background embossing folders, and this is the music one, which is this one. We also had, and I've now put them on the website for anybody, but the ribbon and bows. Merry Christmas there, bells rather. So they're there. But these were the embossing folders that I just wanted to show you. So this was the music one. Then we have the sprinkles. This is a newish one. Not something, as I said, that I'm going to be using in the card today. So just be aware of that. And these are the Christmas ones. This is the Christmas lights. And this is the one that we were using yesterday as well, which is called Snowy Foliage. And this is the Christmas trees. Now, this one looks a bit different because I've got it out of the packet. Just wanted to show you how, or partly what we were sort of attempting to do. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of Adorable Scoreable. So therefore it's white core, white on the back, colour on the front. Popped it into the embossing folder. It's a 6x6 folder, by the way. Then I'm going to put it through my machine. Hopefully that will do that. Okay. Oh, it sounds a little bit sad, my machine at the moment. It's been working very, very hard. If you like any of the embossing folders, they're up on the chat line there. We can see. Thank you very much. So let's just take that out. And again, you can just about see it. So it's a really lovely folder. But what is so nice about using it with the Adorable Scoreable is you take a bit of sandpaper. So this is again available on its own. And you just, excuse the noise, scrape that off. So you just rub that over the top. And you can see then, hopefully, that the pattern appears. So I won't go any further, but I will show you one that I did earlier, as you do. So this is just rubbing that folder over, grabbing a bit of cloth and just taking off the excess, and it just gives you a really pretty look. So that is the Christmas trees one, but they all do the same. It's just showing you. Okay, so however, let us get on with even more beautiful things. Let me just take that to one side. So here is the proper list. That's what you wanted to see. So we've got some brand new EasyFrames today, which are called Snowflake EasyFrames. Guess what? They're like a snowflake. And I am mixing them with the Snow Adorable Luxury Foiled Acetate Pack. Oh my word. Beautiful. And then I've got one of the luxury topper sets. It has to be rabbits, I'm afraid. They don't do guinea pigs. I suppose probably they don't do guinea pigs because you kind of wouldn't leave them out in the middle of the woods, would you? But yeah. Will that technique, Jill says, will the technique only work with Adorable Scoreable card? It will only work well with white core card, Jill. So if you, Adorable Scoreable is what I've got here. Various different companies do white core card, but to be fair, most people like to have a card otherwise that is the same colour all the way through. But clearly, if you rub the top off, like I just did with the embossing folder, if it's the same colour all the way through, there won't be anything to reveal. So then you would go on to sort of letter pressing and inking up the folder and that type of thing. A bit too messy for me, to be honest. Anyway, so these are the bits and pieces. Let me show you what we're talking about. So these are beautiful Snowflake EasyFrames, designed to fit in anything from a 6x6 card upwards. I'm going to be doing two for you, actually. One is a 6x6 and one is an 8x8, just to show you that you could use all of these bits and pieces. I have already cut out one anyway, but I'm just going to cut out this one so that we can see how it goes. So I've already cut out the little frame. So this is using this one. So this is the white one. So I've cut that out in white. Then I'm just going to grab hold of this one and I'm going to take myself a piece of silver mirror, pop that on there, put a bit of tape on, and stick it down and run that through my machine. As I say, my machine's not very happy today because I've been using it too much. It's creaking and groaning for all it's worth. So I hope this is not the beginning of the end for my machine, but still. Do you still use my Better Press? Yes, I do. It's quite a considered thing, though, I think you find. Just checking that it's all done through, which it has. It's quite an expensive thing, and the bits and pieces that use with it are expensive, but they come, the Better Press gives you the most beautiful finish. So if you do like stamping and you do like a really crisp, clean finish, you can't beat it, to be honest. You perhaps have to just be a bit selective, or I would anyway, with what plates, the Better Press plates that you use, which ones that you might get. So as you can see, that's what we cut out. Could always use that as an extra little bit later, because it would fit with that one as well, the inside of that. But that's how it cuts out. Let me just take out the last of the bits, all the little bits. So I've put all sorts of different snowflakes on here. Can't beat a snowflake, eh? And we've got them all different sizes and different shapes, which of course snowflakes are supposed to be. And then going absolutely on top and any which way. So if I turn it around, it fits on that way as well, any which way that you wish. So I'm going to pop that on top already so that we know that that's all done. So as I said, today I'm going to make a 6-inch card and an 8-inch using one of the topper packs, but also a couple of other elements, and of course introducing some of the beautiful acetate. So I shall leave that to one side. Absolutely lovely, love that. So this is the topper pack that I'm going to use. So let's open that up to show you what we got. You've got 3 sheets, certainly enough for 2 cards, but quite likely 3 or 4. I'm going to be using the rabbit and also the squirrel, but you've got a gorgeous little dormouse type of thing, and also another little bit up here, another little rabbit there, with some sentiments and also the little strip that comes down the bottom. So that's your actual toppers. Then you've got the papers. So you've got this beautiful one with, of course, the little bunny in the corner, and this one with the squirrel there as well. And you can see that gorgeous foiled effect that's on there, which of course matches beautifully with, now I'm going to bring in a sheet of the blue, because I think that will show you the better way, because these are the acetate sheets and I think they're so lovely, so different. Now with the acetate sheets you get I don't know, 6 designs, and you get 2 of each, but you get 2 silvers and 2 white. So you get 2 ones like that, then you get it in white, so you've got that same look. I hope you can see that on the white one. Then you've got this beautiful pattern here, which is one that I'm going to be using today. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to one side because we know we're going to be using that. Then you've got the beautiful, look at the beauty. I don't know if you can see that. I hope it is in focus. I can't tell whether it is or not, to be honest. Snowflakes. Going to be using that one. And you've got them also, as I said, in silver. Let's just grab that one so that you can see it in silver. So same thing, but in silver. And then you've also got 2 white and 2 silver in this beautiful, can't see that one very well, can you? Like a sort of pine cone and everything there. So again, really, really pretty. They do look lovely in white and silver. It's so nice to have a different selection, but really, really lovely. So gosh, which ones to choose? Because I just have to say, it did take me a while to decide which ones to choose. But nevertheless, I think I have decided. So let's go for it. So I'm going to do the rabbit one first. And I am going to use this sheet of the blue. And I've forgotten what blue it is. I'm going to say baby blue, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look that one up for you because I'm not 100% sure. And I'm going to take a sheet of silver card as well, silver mirror card. And I'm going to make this one really flat. Can you believe it? So first of all, from my silver mirror, I'm going to cut a piece which is 6 inches by 6 inches. Now again, this is from the Adorable Scoreable range, and therefore it is white on the back. But I think actually most mirror card is white on the back anyway. So white on the back there. Then I'm going to cut a piece of this blue card to 5 3/4. Can you believe it? I'm working in inches. 5 3/4. Okay. Pop them 2 together so you can see how they're going to go there. Then I'm going to take this beautiful white snowflake acetate and I'm going to cut that at 5 3/4 in along the long edge, like that. And that will leave me with I'm not going to cut that bit off there. So that's by the 8 1/4, which is the whole width of that. But then I'm then going to score it at 5 1/4. Ooh, preferably not with that, as I might poke a hole in that. So I'm just going to score that along that 5 3/4. Okay, so that I can then fold that over. So acetate can be one of those funny ones that you need to make sure, like vellum, that you attach it in a certain way so that the glue cannot be seen. And I'm going to make this actually into its own card with just that. I'm not going to use a card blank. I'm simply going to pop some some double-sided extra strong tape onto the inside of this piece of acetate. So let me just grab that. Whoops. And I've got the 6mm one, but in this case, obviously, it's a big wider piece. And I'm going to put that on there. And I'm going to put that on 3 times because I've got a wide enough piece to do it. I'm not taking it right to the very edge. I'm just taking it more or less to the edge. So 3 pieces on the back there. And also I want to particularly find myself. I have almost finished moving, but I know lots of people are aware that I've got a very poorly brother-in-law at the moment, and unfortunately he had another turn for the worse again on Friday. So it's been a little bit upside down, to say the least. Let me just find, just a second. I was trying to find my burnisher, but I don't have my burnisher, so I'll have to use this. Just important to try and make sure that that edge is nice and crisp. So we do that. That was a horrible noise, wasn't it? So let's just remove the pieces off of here. Just to give us something to hold on to. You wouldn't necessarily need to do such a large overflap, but if you can, why not? Just shoot those pieces. So I've got that open. So the acetate is, the sticky is here. I'm going to take my blue piece of card and I want to put it that way round because this is the back of my card, which is going to be hidden onto here. Okay. So I'm just going to put that tight, that edge tight up to the piece, to the fold, and then fold that down. Okay. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. Now, I'm then going to attach that to the piece of silver that I had as well. So I'm going to turn that over again, and obviously half of this has got acetate on it, so I want to put some more of this tape on so that I can attach it properly, all right, so that it doesn't come loose. And then on the rest of it I can put some ordinary glue. So as I said, this couldn't be a flatter card if you tried, really. That's just, but still giving a bit of an oomph, which we like. So turn that over and then position that onto my card base, back, all of it, all of the above. Okay. So there we go. And then when we stand that up, it stands, I know once I stand it up, you can't see it, but that's how it stands up. I'm then going to take my beautiful Snowflake EasyFrame. Now, it can go all sorts of ways. It can go with the bigger snowflakes down the bottom, smaller ones at the top. It can go that way round. It can go that way round. You know, there really isn't a right or a wrong way, but I think I'm happiest with it being bottom heavy, shall we say, so that the biggest snowflakes are down the bottom right hand corner there. I'm going to take my topper and I'm going to take out the bunny like that, and I'm also going to take out that little sentiment that says lots of love. Pop that to one side, and I'm going to put my bunny straight into the center there. Clearly the bunny is not the same shape as the center of my EasyFrame, but there's a fair amount of it on the corners that quite happily stick onto my frame. So I'm just going to put glue onto the top part of that frame and just hover that over so that it's as equal as I can possibly get it on all the corners, and then just hold that down so that that is stuck to my EasyFrame. So as I said, I'm basing this on a really flat card, so no foam to pick that up, just like that. What a little beauty, eh? Then I'm going to bring that back over here onto my acetate. I'm going to turn this over and pop some of the extra strong tape. I want it to look neat, because if you were to be the sort that wants to open up the whole card to have a look, we need to make it look fairly neat. But in all honesty, you wouldn't be doing such a thing, or shouldn't be doing such a thing, I should say. So that's those 3 pieces here. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of this sentiment whilst I'm there. Like that. Oh, whilst I'm just doing this one, let me just remember to say the stag portrait dies are going to be back in stock in about 2 weeks' time. I will be putting them up for pre-order if anyone would like to do such a thing, or of course wait till they come in, not a problem, but they will be coming back in about 2 weeks' time. Just notice I haven't taken that little one out. So bring this back over. Bunny goes into the center there. Sentiment goes into the top corner, I think, just on a little angle. And there's your card, all done. And it opens like that. And of course, then you can do your writing on that side. You couldn't get a flatter card. It really is absolutely a flat one. Of course, if you don't like flat cards and you want to go bigger on all this, you could get yourself a 7-inch card blank. So that's this. And then put all of that onto a front, as if it's like the whole thing's a topper. Do you know what I mean? You would still have this bit flapping, but it would no longer, it could stand, but it would be at a bit of a funny angle. But you could do it like that if you did wish. So sort of 2 cards in one, really. Okay. So, Winifred, 3 o'clock in the morning. You girls that are up as early as that, I do admire you. Mind you, I often am up at ridiculous times as well, but that's because I can't sleep rather than I've got something to watch. So thank you for joining us as well. Let's take the other one. Let's take the beautiful little squirrel. So that is this little chap here. So I'm going to do the same with him. I'm going to just prise him out. And as I said, you are left with some beautiful little frames here. There's 2 frames that have not been used on either of those. You've still got your little dormouse. You've still got your bunny up there. And I'm going to go for this sentiment, a Christmas wish from me to you, down the bottom. If I can prise it out. Right, so that's that one. So with this one, we're going for an 8x8 card blank. So now we're going big time. I'm going to cut a piece of silver mirror, and I'm going to turn that round the other way. But remember that it's silver mirror. And again, going for inches. And I'm going to do this one at 7.5 inches by 7.5 inches. Okay. Then I'm going to take my squirrel pattern from my topper set. Just grab it. And I'm going to cut this next piece, which is 7.25 inch square, from this end, because I don't want to chop him in half. So I'm going to turn it around there, and I'm going to 7.25. And then we just miss that little darling, and he can be used. He'd make a nice 5x7 card still, or a DL card split down or something. Just decide which way. I think I'm going to trim it. So this has got to be 7 1/4 as well. I'm going to trim a little bit off of that end because I don't want quite so much grey. And we were still 7 1/4, weren't we? Yeah. And then trim it down properly a bit more off of that end. Okay. Then I'm going to take my acetate, and the acetate that I'm going to use for this one is, can you see it? You'll be able to see it when it's on there. It's the silver version of the sort of banner ribbon, I don't know what you'd call it really, but it's a beauty. And I'm going to use that one on here. Now, we do have to be a little bit careful because we've got to trim some off the edge. Okay, so I'm going to first of all go along the long edge and cut that one to 8 3/4. So that's taking it to there. And then I'm going to be very careful because I want to trim this to 7 1/4. And I know that I've got to lose a little bit. So I'm going to try and just take a little bit off of each edge and then trim that to 7 1/4 in total. So trying to take a little bit off of each edge rather than, when I've got a pattern that's both sides, rather than lose it all together there. Okay, now I do want to score this as well, and I'm going on the long edge. I'm going to turn it over and I want to score that at 3/4 of an inch, and I want to do, I want to do that on both long ends. So I'm just going to make this into sort of like a wrap. So that's one end, and 3/4 of an inch, same thing, but on the other end. Again, if I had all of my tools, I will get them. I would be doing that in a slightly different way. Needs must, eh? Needs must. Move that out of the way. So I'm going to take my score lines and I'm going to fold them and give them a bit of a burnish with my non-burnish burnisher. Ridiculous, isn't it? But needs must, eh? And then the other way as well. Okay, so we've got those two wraps there. So this is my card base. I'm first of all going to put my silver piece down. So that's going to go onto my card base, and remember that this is an 8 by 8. That's quite a big card. Quite a big card. Then I've got my beautiful pattern. Now let's decide. This is the top of it. So let's decide whether we're going to have side folding. I think side folding onto there. Then going to take my acetate, and that is going to clip onto there like that, so that there's a pattern running through, but it's onto acetate. Okay, and it's the same pattern that is already on that little row there, which I think kind of like blends it all in. So in order to do that, I'm going to grab hold of my double-sided tape again and add that. You don't want that shining off. Let's add just one piece along here. And then down the other end. Found that pair of scissors that I'm using at the moment and lost the other pair. Oh dear. I think I saw that one of our ladies is in the process of moving anyway, and I thought, oh my goodness. I could use the unused frames around the square squirrel. Possibly. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, most definitely. I think I already covered it, but I've only just seen that you've said that. Sorry, Di. Remove the tape. One from there and one from there. And I'm following those beautiful lines there. So back onto my piece of card. Do it round the back. Oh, make sure I got it round the right way. Yeah. Butt that up to the fold line and stick that down. Turn it around and butt that one then up to the fold line. And then I'm going to go onto my card again and add a bit more of the tape because we want it to stay stuck really well. Really is a beautiful design of acetate with all those different things. I think that's lovely. I really had trouble trying to decide which ones to use for you because I thought, oh, I'll use the trees. I like those. Those trees look really good. And then I thought, no, I like the snowflakes. Oh, now I like the ones down the side. Oh, now I like the ones with the pine cones on. So, yeah, I shall be playing about with these. And you will inevitably see a few more coming our way. I just like this blues and silvers and whites of this collection of this Snow Adorable. We used it, if you recall, a little while ago with the paper pad. And of course, all of that coordinates. So it just looked really lovely to do all of those pieces together, I thought. So bringing our card back in and remembering that we're doing a side fold, finding the side fold, that's over there, popping this down onto there. And I got it skew with. Oh, well, skew with it'll have to be. Sorry about that. You can still see it, but it should have gone up a bit more. Should have been standing over it a bit more, eh? Then let's take this one, which I've already made up, and our little squidgel, which is going to go onto there. Now this time I want to put a little bit of foam around the outside of that just to lift him a bit. So I'm going to take one of the strips so that I can sort of mould that in a little. So the workshop we did on Saturday was, we got another one on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the folks make with that one as well, because that's beautiful too. And then we will be opening our books for booking onto the next online workshop, which is the 15th of November on a Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And that will open hopefully tomorrow, but if not, the next day. I'm afraid one has to take each day at a time in our household at the minute. Just going to check to see which way round. Do we still want it that way or that way? I think I do still prefer it that way, so I'm going to go with that way. So let's just centre my squidgel, pop him onto the back, put some more tape on there, although I have got a little bit of foam showing through, so that's okay. And nobody is going to see the back of this one because this acetate is on there, if you see what I mean, so we won't need to do that. So a 2 for today, just to show you. I've also got loads of the card left over. I haven't even touched the outer bunny bit, but I did put an extra piece in. But it just shows you how versatile these topper sets can be. As I said, at least 2 cards from it, but probably 3 or 4. Let's put our little chap in there, like that. And then our Christmas wish is going to go up on the top with, again, a little bit of foam just to make him stand up a little bit more. I don't know why I'm calling it him. This paper, him. Maybe. I'm not going to put glue onto it because I don't want it to be sliding around. I want that, which is very sticky, to do its job. So I'm just going to centre that onto there. So you've got the grey patterns behind here, and of course the 2 little squirrels, which then coordinate nicely with that one. So 2 different cards, totally different sizes, obviously very similar in as much as they've come from the same type of design paper pads and things, but you can see that you can mix and match with the beautiful new Snowflake EasyFrame dies, which is what's the centerpiece there, so that you can see which is which. So just to recap, you've got the Snowflake EasyFrames, which are these, designed to work together or separately. Perhaps this one, to be fair, is not so easy to use as separately, but you could always use this one separately, not a problem. But together they make these beautiful frames, and obviously perfect for Christmas, but with just the individual one you could use that for any occasion. So that's those. We've also got, whoops, the topper set, which was giving you these 2 little lads here and here, and of course mixing it with this luxury foiled acetate set. As I said, I forgot what it was. I think it was 6 designs. Was it? I don't know. Might have not been 6 designs. Who knows? Who knows? I haven't got the piece of paper here that tells me, so I don't know. Let me just double check. The one piece that I haven't got. No, that's not one. No, I haven't. I do beg your pardon. But it's all on the website, all of what you've got there. But it just fits in so beautifully. I just love it. Delicate or what? Just stunning. And 2 different sizes as well. Now, just to also recap as well, that as I said, the embossing folders, they're all over on the website. So you've got the snowy foliage, I think we called it in the end, and the music and the Christmas lights and the Christmas trees. They are all available to order over there, as likewise the little, let me just bring this back over, the little ribbon bow and bells. So it's just a nice sort of embellishment on there. I think there were some people asking about the other elements, and I'm afraid they were only available to the workshop people, and they sold out. Oh, thank you. 16 sheets in the pack. So that must be 4 designs, because there's 4 of each. That's right. 2 in white, 2 in silver, and 4 designs altogether. Thank you very much. Thank you. So thank you so much for joining me today. Sorry to have kept you a bit longer than I normally do, but I think it was worthwhile because they are both very, very lovely cards. Thank you very much for joining me. As I say, I will be back on the 16th, Sunday the 26th of October. I've got a workshop on Thursday evening, so I should be seeing folks then. Still, as I said, upside down with things, so I'm just keeping to the one so that I know I can be there for you on that one. Okay. What did I see? I saw a thing saying, have you got any more ribbon, bow and bell, please? I will double check, Marion. I thought that I had updated what the stock was. And if I have, then the answer is no. But I will double check and I will make sure that they're all on there. So if you give me a little while, I will do that for you. So thank you for joining me, folks. Have a great week. Let's hope I do as well. Thumbs up. Thank you, Di. Down on this bar here. Comments. I love to read them. That would all be good as well. And June says the instructions will be ready tomorrow. That's over on the Maximum Crafts Facebook page. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Lovely to see you. Take care. Bye.